Hey guys, I thought I would do a quick video kind of doing a side-by-side comparison of two watches that, look very similar if you're looking through a catalog or even through a display case. People often ask me, which one should I get? Which one's better? And there's really no right answer to that. So really this video is just to kind of give you the high-level overviews, the pros and cons of each model. I'm not a pilot. I am definitely not a diver, although I'm a really badass snorkeler, but that's beside the point. So from a tool, I guess, sense of these watches, I'm not utilizing them to their full potential. So if that's important to you, the GMT is going to have some dual time zone feature, has the obviously the GMT hand and a multi-directional bezel with 24-hour count. So that's one nice thing. And then you move over to the Submariner from a tool set. As one, it is waterproof up to 300 meters. It's got the countdown single directional bezel. So that's just your basic stuff. You guys can read about that all you want online. What I really want to do in this video is just to make sure you understand what the differences are and how that plays into day to day. I like both the watches equally, but if this is your first watch and or your only watch, meaning you plan to wear this watch every single day, here's some things to consider. One, the Submariner. This is the current model ceramic bezel in black. This would also apply to the green model. And then of course, this is the GMT-Master 2 BLNR, which is blue noir, so you have the touch of blue, but this review would also apply then to the all black model. So right out of the gate, one of the biggest things you'll notice, aside from the bezel itself, is the GMT has polished center links. This looks fantastic. It adds a little bit of flash to it. Some people consider it a little bit more dressy, whereas the Submariner has a full brushed bracelet. So it's completely brushed. Now, the pros to this is if it gets little scratches here or there, which it's not going to nearly as much because of it being brushed, you can easily take care of those at home. You can brush those out with ease. So again, if this is your, hey, I want a watch that I can wear every single day, that definitely goes to the Submariner. It's a lot more forgiving in that respect. So if you're anal about your toys, your cars, your watches, having a polished bracelet or even polished center links will drive you a little bit nuts. Other than the actual links themselves, we'll go back over to the clasp and buckle. The GMT, as I mentioned, in comparison to the Submariner, of course, has the polished center links, which look great. But when it comes to the clasp, this clasp is a standard fold over with safety latch, so unlike the Datejust that also share the same bracelet style. One nice feature is it does have what's called Easy Link. Gives you an extra half link or allows you to take away a half link with ease, so no tools required. Move over to the Submariner. It also has a safety latch. I will tell you, you'll read online, and I personally haven't experienced it. Some people say that this larger, longer closure takes a little bit to get used to. It does take up some real estate on your wrist. I have not found it to be an issue at all, but if some of you are wearing leather straps currently, or even the side tension release like you see on a lot of Breitlings or some of the Tag Heuer models, or I even believe some of the Hublots and so on. This is a large piece of steel, so does not bother me at all, and I'll tell you why it's there. Obviously, for the core purpose of the watch being a dive watch, it allows you to quickly do adjustments to fit over a wetsuit. But for you and I and the average Joe desk diver or badass snorkeler, what this allows you to do is all these little adjustments from here all the way in with just the click. That's it. So super quick, super easy, no tools required. Now that I have this, I find it really, really difficult to wear watches that don't have this level of adjustment. I do travel quite often to various climates, and man, I had no idea how much my wrist size actually changed. So having those adjustments are fantastic for me. So again, if this is your one and only watch, you're gonna wear it every day, you've got two pluses to me. is you've got, you know, the polish bracelet, or excuse me, the brush bracelet all the way throughout. A lot more forgiving. And then you've got the really, really adjustable glide lock clasp. GMT, polished, standard clasp with easy link. So, you know, very, very similar. They're both using the Oyster bracelet. Very, very comfortable bracelet. Moving over to the case and size. Both of these watches, again, are the current new model, ceramic bezel models. They are still 40 millimeters. I know by many, many standards that's small, but Rolex has done something just to make it, I guess, appear to it just wears bigger than 40. So if you're reading online and you're looking at all the great, you know, the alternative brands out there that are, you know, throwing 42, even, you know, some of Breitling's crazy big watches up into the 47s, 48s, 49s, don't be afraid of a 40 millimeter watch. You know, the classic Datejust 36 millimeter, which people still wear today, is you know, still considered gents or men's size. So 40 is still bigger, but what they did, and this is applicable on both watches, is they made the lug shoulders a little bit bigger, they made the crown guards a little bit beefier, and then of course adding the ceramic bezel, and then they increased the actual marker size to what they call, I believe, the maxi dial, and then this is the super case. So it actually wears pretty nice on your wrist. It definitely wears a lot bigger. My dad actually has the Submariner reference 16610, which is a model previous to this. Same case size, but it has the metal inserts, smaller markers, smaller crown guard, smaller shoulders, and you put them side by side, and this thing looks like a Sea Dweller Deep Sea in comparison. So definitely a great design, great side by side, not much different. Really, those are the biggest things. I mean, do you want the polished or do you want the brushed? What's the purpose of the watch? If you're using the tool set of these watches, obviously if you really need multiple time zones, go with the GMT. If you are diving down 1,000 feet, then get the Submariner. But for most of us who are going to work every day, want something nice that they can wear with, shoot, a swimsuit all the way up to a tuxedo, these are both great options. They just have their pros and cons, you know, depending on how you choose to use them. So hopefully you found this somewhat helpful. Very, very similar watches. They they have their own charm about them. I mean, if you already have a Submariner, there's no question the GMT is a great addition to your collection. I like it. It adds a little bit of I guess pop, especially if you're wearing an outfit with blue, but even not, just having the polished center links and having the 24-hour count on the bezel in that platinum sprayed, that adds a lot of pop to it. And then these new ceramic models, you know, looking at some of the older GMTs or older Submariners, you wouldn't think that they're actually very dressy, but I'll tell you, you put on a suit and you're in, you know, lower lighting, the Cerachrome or ceramic bezels are so rich, so deep. It's really, really shiny, really flashy. The teeth around the bezel have a nice little polished spot in them, which really shine as you transition in lighting. And then, of course, they left the sides of the cases polished. So again, when you're wearing it on your wrist, it's actually a pretty dressy watch, despite some of the older ones, or even looking at them in a catalog. So again, if this is your first and only watch, and maybe you're considering a Datejust for that reason, shoot, I mean, the Datejusts are great watches. I own a Datejust 2 and a 36 millimeter Datejust, both with the polished center links, and by the way, they look like they've been drugged behind a truck. So back to the brushed. But if that is a consideration, only because you don't think the Submariner will be dressy enough, it definitely is. I mean, I get compliments on either one of them anywhere I go, but the Sub looks great, tuxedo or swimsuit. So hopefully this helped you out. Please leave me comments if you want to see anything in more detail on, you know, how to use the GMT function, or anything else in depth on one of these specific watches that'll maybe help you make your purchase. But you can't go wrong with either one. But if it were me, based on what we just covered, daily watch, Submariner takes it. Thanks.